Hi, I'm Cindy Wilson, and this is Home Sweet Home Craft Room Creations. Welcome back to the craft room. In today's video, we're going to do a little thrifting, we're going to do a little Dollarama, we're going to do a little Michaels. Very little Michaels, though, because of the price of that stuff. I can't afford to. And as usual, sit back, relax, get something to drink, watch the video. I'll do all the work for now. You can do the work when the video is over. For the first project, we're going to use the wooden thrifted box that was, I believe, the base of an Easter basket or a Christmas gift basket last year, and it's being repurposed. It's not going to just sit on the shelf in my craft room anymore. It's going to be the base of our tier tray for our classic piece for this video. All I did was paint it white, take the base piece, which is candle holder, that I thrifted for $2, and Gorilla Glued it to the bottom of the tray. For the next part of the project, I painted 14, yes, I said 14, plastic eggs, different colors, different sizes. I will leave a list in the description below for the colors of the chalk paint that I used for them. Each of them was painted with Folkart Home Decor chalk paint, and like I said, the list of colors will be listed below, and I will not make you watch me paint all 14 of those eggs. Once the eggs were painted, you're going to see in a second that I changed the color of our tier tray. Now, this was supposed to be a classy looking piece, a more elegant, a more upscale looking piece, and I thought the white made it look kind of country, which is fine, but I did not want a country look for this tray. So here it is in black. I know, I think it looks great. The filler I used for the tray is my favorite Dollarama craft wire string. All I did was take the string, wrap it around my glue stick container, kept curling it, slid it off, and that's what I decided to use for filler. The eggs, which I think look absolutely amazing, were done with 2 coats, I believe I used, of the varathane acrylic sealer in semi-gloss finish, and you'd never know they were plastic by looking at them. I don't think so anyway. And here it is, all put together. I hope you like it, because I'm in love with it. The second part of this video is we are going to make beaded carrots. I saw this on Pinterest. I know I should really stay out of that place. It really gets me into a lot of trouble as far as wanting to do all kinds of crafts that I don't have supplies for, then I go shopping, and you know the story, right? Next thing you know, the money's just flying out the door like water. But here we go anyway. The beads I picked up at Amazon. There's more money. And they were $14.99 a bag. It comes with 500 wooden beads in the package. There are 6 different sizes ranging from 8 to 20 millimeters. I actually had some wood beads that were about an inch big, I think it was, that I had on hand in the craft room from a previous project probably a couple of years ago now, and they were just sitting there in a container, so they became part of the carrots too. The easiest part with this one is you take your beads, you mix in your paint. For this one here, I am doing the burnt sienna bead color. The one that was on the previous picture with our tier tray, those ones were actually stained with mahogany, wood stain, I believe it was called. Not the Minwax, but mahogany wood stain I used on the other ones. And you'll see farther down the line me putting those carrots together. You shouldn't have seen the picture of the carrots yet, but unfortunately, when I did the single photo of the tray, the carrots happened to be on there, and I realized after I put the video together that, oops, I did not have an image of just the tray without the carrots. So, big spoiler alert there. And here in this video now with the beads, back to that, all I did was take the beads, put about 4 drops of the acrylic paint into a seal or a container with a lid, added just a smidge of water into it, dropped the beads into it, swirl them around for a little bit till the color takes. If you don't like the color, you can close it up and do it again and keep adding until you get the right color. Toss those beads into a bowl. I did a heat gun, but you can use a blow dryer as well, and you dry them. They're done within maybe a minute, minute and a half. They are dry and they're good to go. Once all the beads were dry, it was time to put the carrots together. Each carrot was constructed with 2 of the 1-inch beads that I had on hand, plus 2 of, I believe it was the 8 millimeters, 2 of the 6 millimeters, and 1 of the 4 millimeter beads that came from the package in Amazon. Once they're together, you string them up. I decided I did not want them to be on a wire. I didn't want the carrot pliable. I don't know. It was just a thing for me. So I picked up the bamboo skewers that I had on hand here and strung up the beads on those, just leaving a very small tip of the bamboo skewer sticking out at the bottom. I securely glued the bottom and tiniest bead on, and then began to, in order, by size, place the other beads on the skewer, not attaching any of them. I just secured bottom, and you'll see I just secured the top on them. And once that was done, I put a little excess glue in the top bead and popped in my little homemade greenery, which is now metallic bronze for this carrot, for the classy, upscaled tier tray basket. Now there's a mouthful for you. I'm absolutely loving the look of this. These 2 pieces together complement each other just perfectly and definitely radiate class. The next project is our candle holder used with a thrifted candle holder. I painted the candle holder with acrylic sealer first of all. That's why it looks a little foggy. It was to help the craft paint adhere to it just a little bit better and hopefully hang on to it a little bit better. And then it was just a matter of gluing on with Gorilla Gel Glue, the top and bottom pieces, which came from Michael's. That being done, it was time to put an image on the front of my candle for this candle holder. I picked up a pillar candle from Michael's. There was 2, I believe, for $5.99, which was great for 6-inch candles. I was pretty impressed with that, so they came home with me. And the image for the rabbit was acquired from a site online called Salvaged Living. And on that site, you will find free images by a lady by the name of Kim. Thank you so much, Kim, for that image. And then we did the transfer image onto a candle process. Not sure if any of you have seen this before. I had seen it. This is my first time trying, and it really went well. I think so anyway. It is a matter of finding your image and taking a piece of normal everyday copy paper, and over top of it, you're going to glue on a piece of tissue paper. The tissue paper has 2 sides to it, obviously. One is shinier than the other. You want the side that's shinier to be facing on the outside, That will be the side that you print your image on. Take your copy paper and put it in position over top of your tissue paper. And what you're going to do next is carefully overhang just maybe a 1/2 inch of tissue paper on either edge of the copy paper. Take a glue stick, just put a fine light layer of glue stick on the edge of your paper, and again Put it back on your tissue paper. Curl that tissue paper up over top of that sticky edge of glue to hold the tissue paper in place. I wasn't sure if this would work in my printer. I was a little afraid that it might jam up the printer, but believe it or not, it worked out perfectly. A lot of people will tape it. The glue stick worked just fine for me. Once the image was printed, my bunny, by the way, looks absolutely great. And the image came from a lady by the name of Kim at Salvaged Living. Sorry, wrong name of site I was looking at here. It's called Salvaged Living. Her name is Kim, and she has free images on her site. Thank you so much for that, Kim. And what we're going to do next is we're going to trim off the excess amount of paper around our image, just keeping the bare minimum around there. The closer you can get it, the better. And that is what you're going to put up against your candle. You're going to use the printed side facing outward towards you, and you're going to take a piece of wax paper or parchment paper, whichever one you use. You'll see one side is shinier than the other. That is your waxed side. You need the waxed side facing downward up against your image. Hold it against there tightly. And I have seen this process done with two different items. One was a heat gun and one was a blow dryer. Because the heat gun was in the craft room, I used the heat gun. Be very, very, very careful though, not to go too close, not to hover in one spot too long. You will damage your candle. It worked out just fine. I think it took maybe 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes at the most to get the whole process done. And then my next little embellishment for the candle, which I think looks amazing, was to put a little washi tape on the top and bottom of the candle. And this is it, people. I'm telling you, with those carrots, those new carrots on the bottom there, the whole thing looks absolutely amazing. Absolutely loving it. Definitely looking forward to keeping this around for years to come in my home. For the final project in this video, we're going to do just a little bit of recycling. Upcycling? No, it'll be recycling. What I did was I took a old courier envelope. Where I work, I do get several of these a day, and rather than throwing them in the garbage, I do bring them home. So if I do need like a flexible cardboard, I've got it on hand. I cut this piece down to approximately 14 inches, and the width on it, I believe, was just about 11 and a half in that range, not quite 12 inches. And what I did was just take it, cut it down, and then along the edge of the craft table, I kind of smoothed it out a bit, curled it up a little bit, and made myself a little cone shape. I taped the cone together with just everyday ordinary Scotch tape. I figured it would be more than adequate for what I needed. With that done, I picked up a piece of fabric at Walmart. I believe it was last weekend when I was out shopping, and that was going to be the wrap to cover my cone. Just gave it a quick press to get all the excess wrinkles and creases out of it. Took the glue gun and did a little glue sewing, I guess you could call it, just so there were no frayed edges exposed on the outside of the project. Take the fabric, wrap it around the cone, and glue that into place. When attaching the fabric, I made sure that I left the seams so they would show only at the back of the cone itself. I didn't want anything like that showing up at the front. And I did not trim any excess off. Everything was just tucked inside. After that came the Floral Pegs. My friends at Dollarama came through really big time for me. I picked up some geraniums, some baby's breath, and I'm really not impressed, but I grabbed them anyway, the little pink roses on a garland, and that was the biggest, I think, letdown of all the pieces that I picked up at Dollarama. They were pretty smushed up, and I did try the blow dryer trick to kind of straighten them out and make them look half decent, but they just weren't working for me, so in the end, I did not use them. I had other floral pegs here that I'd used previously, and just one happened to have 3 little sprigs left on it, so I attached those ones inside. Not exactly the right pink for what I wanted to do as far as matching the cone fabric, but it worked for me. I liked it. It was fine. I couldn't find any ivy garland, which really disappointed me at Dollarama, and so yeah, I grabbed this mat, I guess you could call it, of garland or of ivy, and just cut strips of it off so I could use it to wrap around the outside of the cone to kind of close it in, make it look a little more springy. I know it's a little early for spring stuff, but I did it anyway. Maybe I'm kind of rushing it in my mind, but I'm okay with that. So all I did, was connect or attach it, glue it into place, and I thought about it as I was making this. I'm kind of leaving the flowers loosely inside the cone, and they left out quite easily. I think at some point I may try to put a container of water inside there. It's secured pretty good, it should hold it, and this may be something that I could actually put live cut flowers into. I'll let you know how that goes, if it turns out well or if it turns out badly. I'll let you know either way at some point. And once again, as you can see, my string wire became my save all again. It's going to be the hanger for the back of my cone, only because it's very lightweight and it didn't need anything more secure than that. Turned out really well. Sorry, the pictures are again of the back of my door inside the house. There's no place outside right now that I can hang that I really want to be, because it is winter and it's really cold out there. You will find a link or description of all the items used in this video in the description box below. Take a look down there. If you can't find it, shoot me a message and I'm sure I can help you. It was great seeing you again. Thanks for stopping by. Bye till next time.